Hi everybody, it's Lori Bradley and I am here in St. Louis, Missouri. We're back for the third time today, and today is the biggest day of the stamp, well, maybe not the biggest day, but one of the biggest days of the Stampin' Up! Here, because the new catalog launched today, the new in colors, all the new stamp sets, the dies, the designer series papers, all the ribbons, and 2 new kits were released, and new online exclusive products. So I went live at 10 this morning. I showed one card using some of those products, and I went live at noon showing a few more. I'm going to show you an online exclusive product this time, and it's called Sunrise Sailing, and it's a fun bundle that combines dies and a hybrid embossing folder, so you can die cut and emboss at the same time. I'm not going to do all that. I'm just going to show you the embossing folder today for sake of time. And then I had a little snafu. My UPS man hasn't brought my order yet, so I'm trying to rework on what I'm going to show you at 7. So hopefully I can get that all straightened out. I'm going to show you the in colors again. My favorite one being Secret C, and that's the one I'm going to use tonight, or for right now. So let's get going. Don't forget that if you are watching, give me a shout out. If you're watching live, tell me where you're watching from. And if I ask for opinions, be sure to give opinions and comments and things that you want to see or things that you like, because I'm going to be drawing at the end of the week. On Friday, I'm going to draw some prizes, so that'll be fun. So this is the Sunrise Sailing bundle. Has a great stamp set, and I recently I've needed a retirement card and I didn't have one, so I'm glad to see that, and that's actually what I'm going to use for this card. But it's got a great sailboat with water. You can stamp your sailboat, and then the boat itself along with the water, and then the embossing folder is what I'm actually going to use, or what I did use. I actually already did it, so you didn't have to wait on me, but I'll show you the embossing, the dies that go with the embossing folder really quick. There's water, has great water, and then there's the sailboat die cut, and that you can put in here and it will die cut and emboss all at the same time. Okay, let's get these out of the way really quick. All right, so today for this card I have a Secret C card base, so that's like the dark blue. Look, I got some white ink on there, so that's going to be my front, because that's going to be covered. I think I had it on my spoon. All right, I have a white panel, and then I have a Secret C panel that we're going to use as a little bit of a background, and then I have embossed this panel, which is cloud cover, with this part that has the sailboat. I started to say snowflake. I think it's been a long day. All right, but before I do this, I'm going to add a little bit of depth to our snowman. Oh my goodness, our sailboat. And I'm going to use my white craft ink. I don't use that very often. And I actually had a brand new pad because my old one got so old and yucky that I didn't have. It was gross. It was gross. But I want to show you, in case you didn't know, the white ink pad actually comes empty. There's no ink in the ink pad, and it is so thick. It's a craft ink, and so I'm going to show you how to ink that really quick. Just kind of put your ink around there. Now you could wait on it to seep in. You could wait forever, but it will take forever. So what I do, and what you can do, is take a spoon, not probably one of your best kitchen spoons, but hopefully one of your, like the plastic spoon. I don't even know what this came from, but it was in my drawer. So just take your spoon and rub that around, and that will push that ink into there. And that's the best way to get that craft ink down into your ink pad. Okay, so I'm going to I'm gonna set that aside because I think that's how I got white ink on my blue paper. All right, so we're going to take a sponge dauber, and I'm gonna rub that on my white ink pad. And then I'm just going to dab it. I'm going to hold it so I can actually see. Just very gently, just onto my sailboat to give it a little bit of color. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's just going to be a little bit shady. Do that. Hopefully I do this right, because on my blue one before on my sample I didn't do very well. So hopefully I don't mess it up. All right, actually the clouds in the embossing folder, I'm just going to go ahead and do those a little bit too, so we can see our clouds. I saw this and I thought it's kind of an unusual, different than any other bundle that we have, so I really kind of like it. All right, now the one thing about the craft ink, as I do this, it needs to dry. So I want to make sure it dries before I do the next part of that step. But I'm going to go ahead and close my white ink pad, but I'm going to take my Secret C ink pad. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to stamp a couple. Ooh, I just reopened my white one. All right, Secret C, and I'm going to stamp a couple of those seagulls. There's a couple embossed on here, but I'm going to go ahead and stamp some Secret C ones. Just kind of, you could do a couple, stamp off, stamp on, a couple of second layer. I'm just going to go ahead and do 2. Just a reminder, make sure that you're liking, commenting, sharing my videos this week, because there's going to be prizes at the end of the week. So hopefully that is enticing to you. I'll show you the prizes later. The UPS man hasn't brought all my new catalog stuff, so I can't show you everything yet. All right, I'm going to do Happy Retirement, and I'm just going to put it down here in the far right corner of my white panel. This is going to be on the front of my card. Okay. Now, the next part, I just wanted that to dry as well. I'm going to color my water and my boat. Now, the one thing I have not done very well is I haven't done my water very well because I've pushed too hard. So to do this, I want to push really, really lightly. I just want it to be a little bit shaded. And it's okay if you go out a little bit. We're trying to get that muted look. I am tapping it on my lower, on my paper, just to get, I don't want it to be a big, when I do it, I'm going to do it here. I don't want it to look like that on my card. I just want to do it very, very lightly. And you can see it just goes on that upper part of the embossed part. And if it goes underneath, that's okay. It goes on all the embossing. There we go. We just want it to look so that the water is a little bit darker than the sky, and you can see the shading on the white. All right, I think I'm going to stop there. Now, I'm going to put it together, and then I'll show you what I'm actually going to do. I'm going to put my white panel on the front. I want to add a little bit of oomph to my card because that's how I'm rolling today, a little bit of oomph. It's sunshiny, so we can do that. Okay. Now, originally, I was thinking that I would just do this as a panel, like just like that. And I was like, it's kind of boring. So I'm going to put my navy piece, or my Secret C piece on, just a little bit cattywampus. And actually, I think I want it to be the same size as this piece. So I'm going to cut it down just a little bit. I like changing things on the fly. Cut that down to it's 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 in case you're wondering. And that way they'll be the same. Since I'm not going to use it as a panel. So I'm going to just put that on at an angle like that. The angle doesn't matter. It can go, I was shaking my table a little bit. All right. So I'm going to put it on like that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my sailboat straight. I'm going to make it straight because I feel like a sailboat being at an angle would look a little funny, like it was going down. We don't need any sinking sailboats today. got that straight. Now I think my white ink has dried, so I'm going to, let me find it, use a little bit of Wink of Stella. And if you haven't used Wink of Stella, she is amazing. But I want to put just a little bit of sparkle on my waves. The lake behind our house, when the sun hits it, is so pretty. And it just, I love the shines. But I wanted to show you how to do the Wink of Stella. This is a brand new Wink of Stella, and you'll see that there's a black ring right in the middle. We want to get rid of that. That's actually keeping it from doing its thing. So I'm going to put it back together. Okay, put it back together, and that kind of pierces it, gets it ready, and then we take the lid off. Now, I'm going to squeeze it. Hopefully I don't squeeze too hard. That has happened once or twice in my life. I'm going to squeeze down. Here it comes. You can see it. Uh-oh, it's supposed to be going through the brush. Let's see what I can do here. I'm hoping my Wink of Stella is not malfunctioning because there's bubbles coming out the side. Hopefully. It's been a while since I've done this. All right, let's hope for the best. I'm going to be all pretty and glittery for the next video. All right, I just want to take it and use my brush. Woo! And go across. That is a lot of Wink of Stella, and I'm actually going to take my finger and get rid of that. All right, I'm just going to do the waves. Our waves are very sparkly for this card. Spread that as much as I can. That'll dry. Now no one will know that we had a Wink of Stella incident. And then let's go ahead, let's put some Stella in our clouds. Just to give it a little bit of shine. These clouds sometimes have a little sparkle to them. All right, and then we're gonna let that dry and hope for the best here with my Stella. Put that lid back on. It's gonna be so pretty. And then the last thing I'm gonna do for this one is I'm gonna use one of our flat pearls. We used these earlier today, the In Color flat pearls, and I'm gonna just put one secret C1 right here, right there, and that will be that'll be our card for our 5 o'clock hour. Be sure to like, comment, share. If you love everything in the new catalog, be sure to place your order on my online store. Any $50 order will get an online fun fold, which will be, let's see, it's May, so that will be held in June. And if you spend $50 also, you will get 24 sheets of 6x6 designer series paper, just now through Saturday. So be sure to get that, do that, and I will look forward to seeing you again at 7 o'clock. I'm going to show you a little bit of the catalog, and I've got 2 cards for you. One's pretty simple, and the other's a little bit more intriguing. So I will see you all back here at 7 o'clock. Have a great night.